time to finish yet another season of Clone Wars. This time, Season 6 is coming to an end. So come with me as I continue to watch through the Clone Wars for the first time. Well, hello there. My name's Jeremy and welcome back to Freeform Disney, where I talk about all aspects of Disney, from the animated movies to the theme parks to Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar, and the TV shows, and everything else in between. And that is why it's Freeform. And keep coming back every day for new daily content. If you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And we're back once again. It's time to finish talking about Season 6. And we've got kind of a four-parter, but really more of a standalone followed by a three-parter? Well, anywho, here we go. So we start in with the 10th episode of Season 6, and this is The Lost Ones. Now, the blurb certainly gives us some stuff to start with. There's a long-awaited truth. The Jedi Temple has received a distress signal, and Plo Koon is going to investigate a signal from a Jedi Master thought to have been killed long ago. Well, I certainly have my suspicions right off the bat on where that's headed. Is it going to be a little Sifo Dyas? That would certainly be fitting. I mean, could go elsewhere too. Oh, and hey, as we're going in here, I love Plo Koon's wolf pack. True before, still true now. The armor they've got, the different symbols on there, and the couple that we kind of know. Could we just have like an arc called Wolf Pack at some point? Just go straight in on Plo Koon and his clones specifically, or even just the clones. Either way. Oh, that'd be cool. Not that I'm expecting it at this point when there's one season left. Yeah. But hey, things one could hope for, right? Okay, everybody, put your trivia hats on because this is a T6 shuttle number 775519. So put that over into your databanks and have it for later trivia quizzes as to what that shuttle number was. Cool lightsaber, by the way. Nice. Back to Coruscant we go. And yes, confirmation this is Sifo Dyas' lightsaber, who, yeah, as we kind of knew prior to the blockade of Naboo, sat on the Jedi Council. And depending on what you know for the rest of the lore, well, he foresaw a great battle and thought an army was needed, and got manipulated into it. But hey, yeah. So now the Jedi are starting to question things a little bit here, considering they know that Sifo Dyas died on Felucia after peace negotiations between the different tribes there failed, which leads you to a hell of a question as to how his shuttle and his lightsaber are over somewhere completely different. Yeah. Oh, and guess what? Further files there were sealed by the Office of the Chancellor, so we can't look into them. Oh, how convenient. So off go the Jedi. Anakin and Obi-Wan are headed off to Felucia to investigate some more over there. Yoda's off to talk to Palpatine. Because, hey, we do have to give Palpy a heads up that we're looking into this. Okay, fine. There is a legit reason. Although I gotta be honest, given the time frame of the whole Felucia instance and the peace negotiations there, I would have gone to Valorum in the first place. But then again, you're not suspicious of Palpatine being the Dark Lord of the Sith, so you're not going to avoid him for that reason. Well, anywho, Palpatine, well, feigns ignorance and passes the buck off onto Chancellor Valorum. Surprise, surprise. And so Yoda gets out of that meeting that it was about as much luck as he ever has with Palpatine, as he went ahead and put it. Yeah. And he finds out from Obi-Wan that apparently they found that the natives there said there was some other unnamed Jedi with Sifo Dyas, and that Sifo Dyas' body was cremated very quickly. Don't want you investigating too deeply into that right there. So off to Chancellor Valorum, which is kind of cool to see Chancellor Valorum pop up in here. So there was actually a secret mission that Sifo Dyas was on, because he was to deal with the Pikes. Because there was this big flare-up in the criminal underworld going on, and it didn't want to legitimize them, so it was kept secret. That's why the files were sealed. Nothing else. So anyway, that means he was sent off to the planet Obadiah, which is where the Pikes have their homeworld at. And no other Jedi went on that mission. But there was a personal aide called Silman. Interesting. The plot thickens a little. And in case you didn't think Palpy was worried, well, let's go show how worried Palpy is about this. Time to contact Dooku and go, what what the hell is going on? Why the hell are they looking into Sifo Dyas after all this time? What the hell loose ends did you leave, buddy? Because this isn't the first time that you have left me in a lurch from your own clumsy stupidity. And I am going to choke you. I'm just going to make it really clear how pissed I am. And that if you fail me, I'm going to kill you. I don't even have to be there, bud. I can be way off, probably on Coruscant still, and force choke you on your homeworld. Which, by the way, damn, that's an impressive force choke distance right there. I mean, we've commented on how powerful Palpatine is, but wow. Yeah. I do suppose this gives a little more credence to the theory that Palpatine actually killed Padme, because here's another example of him having power from an incredible, insane distance. See, there we go. Jumped subject, I admit. Let's move back to this one. Okay, so that crashed shuttle we found earlier, that was found on a moon that happens to orbit Obadiah. So, suspicious indeed. So off to Obadiah head Anakin and Obi-Wan. And some cool new visuals for a new planet. I mean, we had some cool visuals for that moon over there too, although it was mostly shrouded, but it was cool atmosphere anyway. But anywho, off to the Pikes. Spice everywhere. It's like this whole main building they're going into is just a giant spice den. Everybody getting high and yeah, there you go. And guess what? That main Pike they're talking to, he just happens to have the crest necklace from Chancellor Valorum. So, suspicious. Well, Anakin rips it off his neck and, well, the Pike laughs, stating they finally put the pieces together. And the man they seek is here. Jeez, you Jedi are slow. But hey, I like you. Here, let me show you what I got. Because the Pikes happen to have had Silman over in a cell this entire time. Why? Well, because the Pikes figure, we're not idiots. We made an alliance with Tyrannus to help get ahead of the other crime families. So yeah, we agreed to shoot Sifo Dyas down. But that said, we're not telling Tyrannus that we've got Silman, because it's kind of a little insurance policy right there. So, hey, Jedi, you can have him. Side note, it is intriguing to me how the Jedi still haven't figured out that Darth Tyrannus is Count Dooku. That they still haven't put those two pieces together right there. You would think with all the hints out there, they would have figured it out. Nope, not yet. Well, anywho, they head off there to go see Silman, and, well, we have a timer set, because Dooku has arrived on the planet. And quickly force shoves a couple Pikes off the walkway to their desk, just because he just doesn't have time for this. Well, anyway, over there with Silman says that they were betrayed, and that the Pikes, of course, are not to be trusted. But he also starts to say that Sifo Dyas was probably killed by someone powerful who wanted to be Sifo Dyas. Dun dun dun. Oh, but he's not going to get out a name for you there, because Dooku force chokes Silman while the Jedi watch, confused. Although, in fairness, even if Silman had actually said a name, the Jedi there wouldn't have believed him anyway. I mean, after all, something crazy kook thinks Palpatine's behind it? Yeah, whatevs. I mean, we've seen this before right here. They wouldn't have believed him. First off, I don't think they would have had a reason to think Silman would have that kind of knowledge and information. Certainly not proof. Anywho, it is big lightsaber duel time. And, always love some good lightsaber duels. And hey, they finally find out Count Dooku is Darth Tyrannus when the Pikes finally say his name. And Dooku even has this line in here where he's like, hey, Obi, I told you everything you needed to know back on Geonosis. And, well, frankly, indeed he did. I mean, all the information's right there. But no. Can't believe a word he says is just lies. Oy vey. Back to another spot where you got the information and you just won't look into it. The source is so untrustworthy that you figure it's just an attempt to make you break apart from within, make you distrust your own. Which is understandable, but at the same time, so painful. It's very painful right there. Well, anyway, Dooku makes an excellent escape at the end. And then we're back off to Coruscant to talk with the Jedi Council one last time for this episode. Now, this is going to be painful. So now they realize Count Dooku guided the creation of the clone army from the very beginning. Now this has to beg a few questions. Wait, the guy who's in charge of the Separatist army made a clone army for us? Why would you do that? It'd be a lot easier to win if the Republic didn't have an army, wouldn't it? Like, incredibly easy? So, yeah, the Council is a little unsure of why the heck that's going on right there. But they also determined, well, we sure as hell can't reveal this because that would undermine the entire war effort. And people would probably start rebelling against this one if you realize your enemy created your own troops. So they chose to keep it a secret from everyone, and including the Chancellor. I gotta tell you, I don't think Anakin looks too happy. Another case of the Council doing something that he finds a little morally dubious right there. And we get our end piece with Yoda saying how he feels this is the only path currently available to them. Not that it's the right path, because it's certainly not that. And that they've got to play into the Dark Lord of the Sith plans for now. Oh, that has got to be galling to know that you have to do that. And to know that you can't figure out exactly what's going on or why. Why Dooku would have created an army for the Republic. Oh, God, that's going to screw with you all the way until it's too late. So yeah, this episode, liked this one, definitely. It's nice to see this thread with Sifo Dyas really start to get explored a little more. And to see the Jedi finally catch that Count Dooku and Darth Tyrannus are one and the same person. And, once again, they dance near the truth and fail to be able to see it. Yep, loved this one. Good episode. So let's move on. We're going to move into our little trilogy now with the episode Voices. So Yoda is hearing Qui-Gon Jinn, which, by the way, that voice is definitely Liam Neeson right there, right? Either that or one hell of a good Liam Neeson impression, which, by the way, cool. So he's back and we've got him around for a whole episode to voice Qui-Gon. Nice. Anywho, we hear Qui-Gon talk about how he's part of the living force. And this is Yoda's first time discovering this. And that's pretty cool. Well, and off we head back to the Jedi Council, who are still discussing the problem at hand from the last episode here. Ki-Adi-Mundi realizes one of the potential grave implications, because he says Dooku was probably the apprentice, not the master. Yes, well said, bud. Of course, the council as a whole is certainly not on the same page as Ki-Adi-Mundi here. We got a lot of different questions and opinions, and we don't know where the hell we're at right now. It's a mess. But Yoda is super distracted, lost in his thoughts. Although he'll agree that they're on the precipice and that the dark side is starting to endanger everyone. Yeah, more than you know. And we get this interesting conversation between Mace and Obi-Wan afterwards as they talk privately about their real concerns about Yoda. And I love this little comment about how, well, everyone's been pushed to their limits lately. I'm just surprised Yoda actually has a limit. Dang. Just how impressive a Jedi Yoda is to everyone, right? Yeah, this is definitely an ominous talk right here. Then we get this interesting little interaction between Anakin and Yoda. And Yoda asks him about talking with Qui-Gon Jinn over on Mortis way back. And, well, Anakin writes it off because, that was just whatever dream, it was screwy, it was fake, it wasn't probably Qui-Gon actually. Because as they both agree at the end, everything we know about the Force says that retaining identity after death is impossible. So Yoda can't really accept this, and nor are the other Jedi going to be able to accept this either. Considering the stress everyone's under, you might be losing it a little there, Mr. Yoda man. Yeah, that makes this dangerous. Do you admit what you're seeing? Do you not? Well, if you're a Jedi, you probably should. By the way, over in the Jedi Council here, who is that new really long-tailed Jedi Master on the Council? He's cool looking. And I'm not saying it's the first time we've seen him, just the first time I've really taken a lot of note of him. Anyway, cool. It's interesting to see how the other Jedi react. There's a lot of genuine concern from them for Yoda. As well as concern, especially about dark side deception and manipulation of Yoda. Which is also quite worrisome. I mean, if you want to hit and hurt the Jedi, how do you do it? Go for Yoda. How could you not be suspicious of that at this point? Ugh. Yeah. Well, we give Yoda a medical exam, which says he's fine. Physically, mentally, no probs. And we got this new Dr. Jedi who's cool. Always like new people. So we give Yoda a deprivation treatment to investigate the source of the voice. And this time he's able to really talk to Qui-Gon a little better. And Qui-Gon says, hey, come to Dagobah. and don't tell anyone that you're doing this, by the way. Everybody heads off. We leave Yoda over there under guard. Or, being guarded from anyone, I guess. Probably both, let's be frank. You think someone's under the influence of the dark side? Yeah, I might be a little worried. So Yoda goes ahead and calls, guess who? Anakin, of all people, and asks him to help him escape. Because disobeying the council, your expertise is. Indeed it is, right? So Anakin certainly goes ahead and helps out Yoda, sends R2 with him, and off they go in a ship. And Anakin to Mace when they race in there. It's like, hey, for once, none of this was actually my idea. Intriguingly, I guess R2 actually has been to Dagobah before. That's an interesting new little wrinkle and everything. Of course, in fairness, he also knew Yoda already, and etc., but R2, all the secrets you keep, huh, bud? Yoda and Qui-Gon get talking. Qui-Gon has this cool, sparkly set of lights, which is just kind of cool, and especially once he's over on the tree, we get a little Christmas tree. And I love the conversation. We get some interesting talk about the living force and the cosmic force and how the connection is in between the two. So all living things partake in the living force, and that energy feeds in there, and then it, gets talked through the midichlorians, which, by the way, I think this is the only time we've talked about midichlorians during the Clone Wars episodes. Maybe we've talked about it once before, but this feels like it might be the only time we've actually said it in here. Well, anyway, interesting stuff. Well, of course, Qui-Gon can't tell Yoda who the Sith Lord is because, that would kind of break the whole show and the whole saga, so it's also an interesting comment on the Force Ghost and no future, no past. Time doesn't matter. That's interesting. Well, anywho, Yoda gets to go off to the cave, and in the cave, he sees all kinds of stuff. He sees Jedi fighting clones. He sees Jedi being killed by a cloaked Sidious. And he even sees a bit of that last piece between Mace and Palpatine right there. Oh, and then he hears that name Sidious multiple times. Sidious. And the cloaked figure. Oh, so close, so much info right there. Well, Yoda, heavily disturbed, faints afterward. Well, Qui-Gon tries to reassure him and says, hey, there's always hope. Even if evil is growing every day as the Clone Wars continue. But hey, there's still hope. And very dark times ahead. Let's be frank, Qui-Gon's hinting quite heavily toward where the saga goes. So apparently Yoda has been chosen just as Qui-Gon was, and now Yoda's going to get to head off to one of the origins of all life in the galaxy. And he's going to be guided to get there by the Force. Begun our long journey only has. So this episode, I like this one. There was lore galore in there. And Qui-Gon Jinn was a delight. Getting to see the council and how they react to everything here. Dagobah, the piece in the cave. Oh, definitely love this one. So at this point, I gotta tell you, I'm looking forward to where this is heading. And at this point, I'm going, one of the first sections of life, yada yada. So we're gonna see some wills actually pop up in here? That was certainly what I was wondering at this point. So onward to the episode Destiny. So through a giant cloud of gas to a planet and guided by the Force to get there because, heck, we disable all the tech, including R2. Nice touch. Feels like Luke's entrance over to Dagobah a little in that sense. Except Yoda handled that far better and yeah. Now visually this is cool. We get these towers of light, which apparently are towers of life on top of that. So I guess they're going up and maybe emanating to the rest of the galaxy? I don't know. Well, Yoda, being the wise Jedi that he is, leaves his lightsaber and then heads on in down to these really cool floating islands of exotic-looking life down here. We've got some fun didgeridoo music in the background that just kind of goes throughout. And we get Yoda having run into some people here. Traveled far I have, looking for those who can teach me. You are late. We study everyone who is strong in the Force, so we knew you'd be coming. Well, you people sure as hell take your time, then, if you actually like the side of the Jedi, huh? which is an interesting question in its own right. I gotta say, the art style also has this aboriginal feel to it, shall we say, kind of going along with the didgeridoo music, so interesting choice. Well, now there's multiple of them. There are 5 of them here, and they each have the emotion on their face mask that they show, that they express, I should say. And apparently Yoda is told that he will teach the one who will bring balance. I don't entirely know if I'm happy with the idea of us talking balance of the Force, balance between light and dark, from these people as if it's the bigger, wider thing. Because that, some of the other pieces, at least from EU and other things of that nature that I know, take very different views on the Force. These people seem to still be in the same light-dark duopoly kind of idea that the Jedi and the Sith are in. Interesting. Now these people then say this is the birthplace of midichlorians. Yo, okay, wow. So hey, if this is all midichlorians, can you just shove a whole bunch in me and make me way more powerful in the Force? Is that possible? Can we do that? There's an interesting comment about the living Force and cosmic Force renewing each other. Not entirely sure what it was meant to be, or maybe it was meant to just kind of be a vague, cool sounding thing. I'm not sure which of the two. But interesting nonetheless. Well, first off, Yoda's going to have to go conquer his fears, because have you really? We're going to send you to a special little island where you've got to defeat your evil. So we get this cool, dark, gaseous, evil Yoda in there, who at first he chooses not to recognize, and they have this fight that continues on, and eventually Yoda does recognize it and rejects his own dark side, rather than pretending it doesn't exist. So the point here was, hey, he conquered his hubris, and now he's going to go to another island where he'll face his temptations. I did think it was interesting. We got the piece where Yoda's like, deep in my core, I thought I had nothing to learn from them. Speaking of hubris. I mean, you're in a place with people who are where all the midichlorians came from. Nothing to learn? Oh, Yoda, I thought more highly of you than that. Well, apparently he's going to now have to go through the Valley of Extinction. Ooh. And pass through without emotion or attachment. So these guys really sound like they're big fans of the whole Jedi way. Drop your emotions, drop your attachment, fight your fear, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely seems much more up that alley. So now he will have to face through confusion, anger, sadness, joy, and serenity, which are what the 5 represent here. So we go in and we're into this red Jedi temple, which also seems to be a little potential future, although we get Ahsoka in here too. But anyway, there are dead Jedi everywhere. He sees lots of people. Mace, coolly the youngling Petro, and Ahsoka. And then Serenity's in there as the youngling Katuni. Kind of cool to see some of the younglings popping back up in here too. And so Yoda starts to give in to Serenity and goes off to a peaceful version of the temple, where we see, I think, a good number of the other younglings in there too quickly. But more interestingly, we head over to a group with Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, and Qui-Gon Jinn talking. Yeah, Dooku while he was still a Jedi. And hey, some cool stuff, but Yoda, of course, makes it through, realizes things are wrong and rejects it. And at the end, well, our people that he had been talking to, well, finds out that they had all already been dead, those 5. And that they actually already were Force ghosts, essentially. Well, so congratulations, yay Yoda, you made it through your trials. Press the that was easy button a couple times and you're done. So now he's got to go travel to Moraband, the home of the Sith, and finish his training. Because after all, Moraband represents all of his fears. So, this episode, huh? What do I think? I've got to just tell you that I think it's okay. There are some interesting elements, definitely. Some really intriguing things. But some of it felt a little too cliche. There are pieces that are fortune cookie philosophy, shall we say, and not truly deep, it feels in certain spots. And also, for me, I just have an issue, a personal pet peeve, where the whole big test things, we're going to send you through a few big tests that are, in fact, well, super simple to pass. I just always have a pet peeve on that one. And yes, it's come up before in the show, too. For instance, say the younglings getting their Kyber crystals. But there was so much else that I liked about that one that it worked okay enough. And there's a lot of other stuff I like in this one, too. But yeah, between the simple giant tests and the philosophy that doesn't actually seem to be deep the way it wants to be. I'm really torn on this one as to what I think. At any rate, the episode tried, and I did enjoy the episode. So that takes us on to the last episode of Season 6. This one is Sacrifice. So we're off to Moraband, which was deserted long ago after many wars, and so Yoda's off there kind of by himself. But hey, even then, a little bit of worry because it tells R2, hey, if I'm not back in 3 days, get back to Coruscant, tell them all where I'm at. So clearly there's a little concern. Well, and Yoda sits down at one point, and we have a whole bunch of Sith spirits go ahead and haunt him. And they try breaking him down. There's nothing after death. We'll tell them you are here. Your death will be meaningless. It doesn't work. Yoda makes his way through that. But meanwhile, Dooku has been ordered to go to Coruscant. Dun, dun, dun. That just happens to be going on, right? Because we're going to get an ominous piece with Sidious and Dooku, because Sidious says that we've got an opportunity to strike a deadly blow to the Jedi Order. Back over on Moraband, Yoda heads on inside this building, and it's a tomb. And who is it the tomb of? It's the tomb of Darth Bane. That's kind of cool off the bat, by the way. And we see this weird, ghosty, visiony version of Darth Bane up over top of the tomb. And I guess this keeps Darth Bane in the new canon probably too, being that when Disney took it over, they wiped all the old canon, which I think would have wiped Darth Bane out of it as well. So yeah, Mr. Good Old Rule of Two is officially canon with this episode, I would imagine. Anywho, Yoda dispels the fake Darth Bane and heads on down into the tomb, and finds out from our good old spirits from last episode that, hey, it's been the Enchantresses all the time. That's what all these trials have been, including the Darth Bane thing. But now, though, he's about to go to a place of absolute darkness where they have no power. It is a chamber where the Sith sacrifice Jedi. And apparently, the Sith of your time will find you and you will find them. And what they offer will seem like an answer. Don't fall for it. And indeed, that's what's happening, because back over on Coruscant, Palpatine says to Dooku that they are going to use the bond between Dooku and Yoda to plant seeds in Yoda that will help them later, using an old Sith art. And they're going to make an old face for Yoda to meet. So Yoda goes in there and happens upon Sifo Dyas, who makes him the ever-popular offer, "Free me, and I will reveal who the Sith is, and then together we can know who the Sith Lord is, gain the power you deserve, and save the future, and rule the galaxy." Oh, sorry, cancel the rule the galaxy part. Everything else, though. That's it. Yoda doesn't fall for it. Nothing to show me the Sith have. Although, in that moment right after that, seeing a cloaked Sidious in front of you has to be a little bit tempting. Now, this next part is really interesting. So after he rejects Sifo Dyas, he loses consciousness and then wakes up, and he's suddenly on Coruscant on a troop transport with Anakin and a bunch of clones, and Rex being one of them, because it's Anakin and clones after all, so the 501st. And apparently this is Yoda's mission because he intercepted a transmission calling Dooku to Coruscant. And, well, it takes Yoda a little bit to come to it and come to grips with whatever the heck is going on here. And off they go, and we get a battle between them, and, also, Anakin chops Count Dooku's head off here. Yoda sees it happen. Oh, dang, man. It's like you are seeing more of the hints about the future. Painful. Well, anywho, the battle keeps going, and, well, Anakin gets taken out by Palpatine. Not dead, just knocked out. And then Yoda fighting Palpatine. Really cool here. And some of the cool spots, like Yoda repelling Force lightning from Sidious, while at the same time trying to save Anakin with the other hand. That is pretty dang impressive right there. And then get some good lines between them. "Why not let him go? Let him die, and you can stop all that I will do." "No, the future is not yours yet. Tempted I will not be. Sacrifice all I am willing to do." And so then Yoda saves Anakin while just taking all of that shot of Force lightning because he's no longer repelling it or grabbing it, just straight to his body. Damn. Go Yoda. Yeah. Well, Palpatine in reality says that they failed to break Yoda and that they will need more time to defeat him and the Jedi. Not that much more time, sadly, though, huh? Well, that means that Yoda succeeded in his final trial and apparently died in a way. So Qui-Gon's going to go ahead and train him now. And we get this interesting little weird last piece where here's a couple more future pieces. There is another Skywalker. And also, he gets to hear Vader breathing, too. Yeah, not that these are pieces that you will go ahead and add up. Well, now Yoda is truly back at the Jedi Temple, and Yoda, Mace, and Obi-Wan talk. Yoda pretty much just denies it all. Nothing significant happened. Or maybe yes and no. Maybe something did, maybe something didn't. Pretty elusive. To the end we are coming now. No longer certain that one ever does win a war, I am. For in fighting the battles, the bloodshed already lost we have. Yet open to us a path remains, that unknown to the Sith is. Through this path victory we may yet find, not victory in the Clone Wars, but victory for all time. Big original trilogy music vibes going on in here too. Now I gotta tell you, a victory for all times, Yoda. Overselling it a little bit right there. Just a teensy bit. And then we also finish this out with some different music for the end credits. Now, I definitely like this one better than the episode before it. That said, of the 3 pieces in this direct arc, the first one was definitely still my favorite right there. But this one was also enjoyable and had some definite good moments in it. I still think, at the same time, I have some problems with how this is shaping certain aspects of the universe, because it feels like it's narrowing the definition of the Force rather than widening it. Narrowing it to be more Jedi Sith rather than the many different views that actually are out there. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I think of this one. Okay, so there was some good stuff here in this video of these 4 episodes that I looked at today. Now, I really liked that standalone at the beginning, the Sifo Dyas one, and the arc certainly had its good moments. Now, I've heard some people compare that arc to Mortis. Overall, I would have to say I liked Mortis better, but the strength, especially of the Dagobah portion of this one and the Jedi Council stuff before it, really tempts me to put this one above Mortis, but no, ultimately it's not going to make it there. Still, definitely a worthy addition, I think, to the Star Wars canon when it comes to it. And, wow, that also marks the end of Season 6. Whew, dang. Season 6 definitely had some strengths, let me tell you that, too. Especially the opening 5's arc, which I loved so much right there. And in my head, that Maul arc is kinda here in Season 6 to me, even though we never got it. But if that arc had been in this season, then this would have been so debatable on whether it was the best season, if that one had been here. Ultimately, I think Season 6 will go down as my second favorite season right now. Of course, Season 7 can change all that. But anyway, I think it'll go down as my second favorite at the moment, only beating out Season 4 because of Season 4's weak opening for me. And wow. There are only 12 episodes left for the entire show. Dang, there's so little left now. That means on to Season 7 next week. Oh, I don't want it to be over yet. Well, hey everyone, what about you? Where did you rank Season 6? And did anything beat out the 5's arc this season for you? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you again tomorrow for another new episode of Freeform Disney. Have a magical day, and may the Force be with you always.